Councilwoman, first of all, your thoughts that this even occurred was simply terrifying.
Absolutely. This is not what any New Yorker, what anyone across the country thinks how their morning is going to start. So, yes, it is a terrifying situation.
We've heard the police say that they don't have a suspect in custody. How confident are you they're going to get one in custody and soon?
I don't know. I mean, I think, I'm a New Yorker. I've been here all my life. This is certainly not our first tragic situation in the city. I hope and I think the police will do all they can to find a suspect, and we hope certainly they will be found.
Councilwoman, there has been an incredible debate in this city between the police and the community of late, how to bring down crime, which has been an incredible priority, but also how to balance that and not do it with too heavy a hand. Something like this occurs and instantly flares that debate once again.
Absolutely. I think the one thing that we haven't been talking about is that our city, our country is emerging from a global pandemic where we lost over 1 million citizens. The city itself lost thousands of people. People have lost jobs, have lost homes. The food insecurity is at highest rates we've ever seen. The city is struggling and suffering also on the heels of a disinvestment in mental health and healthcare overall. So this is a compounded crisis. I mean, I think the violence that we're seeing, and we have been advocating for many, many years, that this is a public health issue. And so I think what we will continue to advocate for is let's find out what happened here. Let's not jump to immediate assumptions or inclinations that in fact may not actually address the problem at all. We want to get to the root cause of violence, and I think that's what we're going to be asking for right now.
It does seem, at least preliminarily, that the authorities have connected what happened here this morning to the string of gun violence that the city has been confronting and not something connected to like a wider terror plot. At least that was what the police commissioner said. She later said she wasn't ruling anything out.
Sure.
How do you see this fitting into the pattern of what the city's been doing?
Yeah, I mean, we see it's not just the city. This is a nationwide problem. Gun violence has increased.
But it's a Brooklyn subway station.
Absolutely, but it's nationwide. Gun violence has been increasing. We are not unique in this fashion. It's not something that we're proud of, certainly, but nationwide gun violence is increasing all over. I would love to partner with law enforcement across the country to get rid of guns. We don't need guns. This is the unifying element here, right, is guns and the misuse and violence that is perpetrated with that tool. So I think absolutely we have to address this issue.
Councilwoman, if you'll indulge me 1 second, Kira, with your permission. I got a bit of new information. Speaking of the guns, Councilwoman, inside the subway station behind us here, the police recovered a Glock 17 9mm. There were 3 extended round magazines that were recovered with that Glock. It was one in the perpetrator's backpack. One was emptied on the floor, and we're told one of those extended round magazines was in the gun and had jammed, and maybe in the gun jamming that prevented more people from being shot. But extended round magazines has been something that gun control advocates have taken note of.
Absolutely. I mean, New York State has some of the highest gun restrictions, right, in the country, and yet the proliferation of guns. We need to talk about why we have so many guns. Who is profiting off of these guns, and why do we have so many? Why do we continue as a society making guns that are killing our children and our family members? So I think it is part of this problem that we have to address. It's not just removing them, it's stopping them from being manufactured.
And Councilwoman, before we let you go, it's going to be the afternoon rush hour. In fairly short order, the people who went to Manhattan on this train are going to be returning here to Sunset Park. What do you tell them about getting on the subway to come home?
Yeah, I think we've all suffered a trauma, and they're going to be afraid. And I think we cannot let the fear shut our city down. We have to continue to use the subways. We know, it takes a lot of deep breathing. I'm a mother. My child was on her way to school to this very subway stop. There are children in 4 buildings here surrounding this very space. So I think we all have to support each other, deep breathe, remind each other not to jump to knee-jerk reactions, but really, really think about how we can address this situation and absolutely keep everyone who was harmed, both physically or emotionally, in prayers, and make sure that we really support everyone who was impacted by this tragic situation today.
Any issue with getting the kids home? I know they've been kind of locked in their school.
They have been locked in. They are, you know, the principals were incredible. They followed the protocol. They are safe. The principals are talking with parents around the individual protocols that each school will take. And I'm sure parents, as half of my brain is with my two daughters in their school right now, there are individual protocols for all the schools so that everyone gets home, gets their child, and feels okay. So just my prayers to everyone, and we will get through this together as a city.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Aaron and Councilwoman, yes, stay with us. By all means, Aaron, stay with us. Councilwoman, please stay with us. Just two quick questions, if you don't mind. I was reading that you have two daughters, and you've now just let us know how you're feeling, how that impacted you. From what you know about your daughters and about their school, could you just, to kind of ease the minds of parents right now, tell us the kind of training they go through for situations like this, why you are confident that they are safe, how you are able to communicate with the school, because clearly when there's still a gunman on the loose, there is a lot of concern, especially we moms are very concerned about our kids, right, when they're not in our arms yet.
I think the first thing to say is that there is no assuaging parents' anxiety right now when their children is not with them, right? As a mom, while I know they are safe, they are in a school building that is holding their safety for the utmost importance, there's no assuaging the nervousness that I feel right now for them and for all the children of this district. So I think what we have to do as parents absolutely is just remember that when I was informed, the schools immediately went into lockdown. The principals were informed. Also, there were sweeps around all the buildings to make sure any children who were straggling or coming in late were absolutely kept inside the buildings. So I can just assure you that your principals, your educators are making sure that our kids are safe in the buildings. Law enforcement did sweeps around the area, and there were no individuals straggling around, certainly no kids. So please be in contact with your schools, who will inform you around the protocols for release. Parents, deep breathing, a lot of love and kindness to each other is what we need right now. And to assuage children who are also traumatized. They're going to see this on social media. They're going to feel anxious about this. And, you know, we are our most important advocates to let our children know that they are safe, and we are doing our best to keep them safe. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. And also one more question, if you don't mind. There are reports out there that possibly the cameras down there in the subway station there in your district were not working. Do you have any update as to if that is true or not? And if you feel confident that the cameras were working to be able to get any kind of possible image of this shooter?
Unfortunately, I will say I don't feel confident that the cameras probably in the subway weren't working. It's an endemic problem across New York City. Cameras often don't work, or they're malfunction. They haven't been serviced in years. Honestly, while this will help piece the situation together, you know, we need to talk about prevention. We need to talk about all the things that are going to make sure that this does not happen again. And that's where we need to invest all our resources. So I think more will come out with the investigation.
In fact, if
Absolutely.
I may, Kira,
yes, Aaron, go ahead.
We know that the cameras were not working here at this particular subway platform, which is why there was not an initial description beyond what eyewitnesses were able to give of this suspect. But I've just talked to a senior law enforcement official who says they do have video and images of the suspect taken by bystanders in a pretty good image, so they have a better idea now who they're looking for and what that person looks like. You heard the police give a very preliminary description of who they're looking for, but as we suspected, the police know a little bit more than they've said publicly, and now they do have an image that they've been circulating, and they're hoping, against all hope, that they'll have all of this wrapped up in short order.
Got it. Councilwoman, thank you so much. I hope that you will stay on top of the MTA to get those cameras working, just for the safety of those going in and out of the subway station, definitely. And Aaron, before I take it over to Bob Boyce, just to confirm, your source is telling you now a Glock 9mm was discovered. Is that in addition to the 38 that you reported earlier?
We're going to have to check because there had been some conflicting reports, but it was a handgun. And there were 3 extended round magazines that were found, one in the shooter's backpack, one emptied on the floor, and then one still in the gun that had jammed. And in the gun jamming, that may have saved lives.
Got it. Aaron, Councilwoman, thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.